Hello everybody, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel for more WoW news and WoW gameplay. So, this video may be a little bit longer, please bear with me as I try to explain this, but the final patch in Mists of Pandaria will be the Siege of Orgrimmar. Both factions will lay siege to the city to bring Garrosh down and end his reign of warchief. It doesn't say we're going to kill him, but it says we're going to bring him down and end his reign as warchief. He's going to be, so something's going to happen. It's going to be pretty bad. So, I wanted to announce that as well as explain what the story of Mists of Pandaria will be like. A lot of people have been complaining that, oh, it's for kids and oh, it's just a joke. This is all a joke. It's just stupid. It's not stupid. It's really, really cool. And when you experience it, you're going to understand how cool it is. Now, I'm going to explain to you what it is that is going on in this expansion. Essentially, this story will play out in a little bit of a different way, whereas each expansion had one story completely. You bought, whatever, like let's say a Wrath of the Lich King, and then there was just a whole thing about doing the Lich King, where Lich King wasn't in the game on launch. It didn't come in the box on the disc, on their initial download. It came patched in. Mists of Pandaria is working differently. Mists of Pandaria in the box on ship will have a full story that is told and you experience it. So Alliance and Horde will go on to Pandaria and they'll explore, they'll follow that story, and there will be an ending to that story. Then, once we hit the second patch, there will be a new story arc. And that is when Pandaria rather gets into a giant war and chaos, because we heard that it was all going to be about Alliance and Horde, the war against Alliance and Horde, how we're going to completely not completely destroy, but ruin the beauty of Pandaria, because we're going to resources and just basically fucking things up, right? But that's going to happen when the first patch hits. So again, Mists of Pandaria, the game that comes inside of the box that you purchase, the initial download, whatever it is its own complete story. Then you get into the whole badass war shit that happens between the Alliance and Horde. Now let me elaborate a little bit on that. Essentially, it starts to heat up as soon as we get to Pandaria. There will be, a lot of Alliance and Horde going at each other, and eventually it gets so crazy and war crimes are committed by one of the sides. We don't know if it's Alliance or Horde. I'm assuming it's going to be Alliance. I think it's going to be Varian Wrynn, because they mentioned how Varian Wrynn's got some stuff. They had some sword and stuff for Varian Wrynn in Mists of Pandaria, and I think that's what it's going to be. So war crimes are going to be committed by one side, and then it starts to go insane. Then, at the final patch of Pandaria, that doesn't mean that's what the expansion ends, or that's what the whole story is. The whole story isn't about taking down Garrosh. It's sort of sequels to the first story, which is what comes inside of the box, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to explain it in a very weird way. I know it doesn't really make sense, but think of it like the original WoW. You bought WoW and it's like, oh, just adventure through this new land and explore and look at the factions and, do everything you need to do here, right? And then there was patches, there was Encourage, and then, there was actually Molten Core, then Encourage, and all of that stuff that followed afterwards. And those were basically sequels to it. Like WoW had the first sort of story, and it didn't really even have much of a story actually in the first place, but this does. So it's its own contained story, Mists of Pandaria, in the box. And then the patches that come afterwards are sequels to the main story and add on to the story. And I really like that idea, instead of, one expansion we're all leading up to one thing that happens at the end. Like Cataclysm, we're leading up because we have to kill Deathwing. But before that, we have to kill this guy and then that guy, and then we kill Deathwing. And it's sort of like, why? Why can't we just kill Deathwing? So this is great. They have it all split up into different ways, and it's got its one thing, Mr. Pandaria. That's one story about Pandaria. Then it switches into, whoa, fucking crazy war between Alliance and Horde. I personally really like that idea, and I hope they do a really good job making the story interesting. I'm a big fan of PvPing, so that sounds something totally up my alley. So if you guys like this video, click the annotation on the screen. It'll take you to the main menu for all the press tour videos I released today, and I hope you guys enjoy it.